Episode title, The Challenges of Shrinking the Fed's $7 trillion Balance Sheet. Intro music, midnight to 0:30. Host, welcome to Economic Insights, a podcast where we delve into the world of finance and explore the complexities of the global economy. I'm your host, Naim, and today we're discussing the daunting task of shrinking the Federal Reserve's $7 trillion balance sheet. Joining me is economist, guest's name. Welcome to the show. Segment 1, Introduction to the Issue, 0:30 to 5 o'clock. Host, the Federal Reserve's balance sheet has grown exponentially since the 2008 financial crisis, with the central bank engaging in large-scale bond buying programs to stimulate economic growth. However, with the economy now in a period of expansion, there's growing concern about the need to shrink the balance sheet. Kevin Warsh, a former Fed governor, has spoken about the challenges of reversing the effects of these bond buying programs. Can you explain the context of this issue? Guest, yes, certainly. The Fed's balance sheet has grown from around $800 billion in 2008 to over $7 trillion today. This expansion was a result of quantitative easing, a policy tool used to inject liquidity into the financial system. However, as the economy has recovered, the Fed now faces the difficult task of unwinding these assets without disrupting the markets. Segment 2, Challenges of Balance Sheet Reduction, 5 to 1500 hours. Host, so, what are the key challenges that Kevin Warsh and the Fed will face in shrinking the balance sheet? Guest, well, one of the main concerns is the potential impact on interest rates and the overall economy. As the Fed sells off its assets, it could lead to higher borrowing costs and reduced economic growth. Additionally, the Fed will need to carefully manage the pace of balance sheet reduction to avoid market volatility. The sheer size of the balance sheet means that even small changes can have significant effects on the markets. Segment 3, Potential Strategies, 1500 hours, 25:00. Host, what strategies could the Fed employ to reduce the balance sheet while minimizing the risks? Guest, the Fed could consider a gradual and predictable approach to balance sheet reduction, allowing markets to adjust to the changes. This could involve setting a clear timeline for asset sales and providing regular updates on the progress. Another option could be to focus on reducing the holdings of shorter-term securities, which would have less impact on long-term interest rates. Conclusion, 25:00, 30:00. Host, thank you for sharing your insights on this complex issue. It's clear that shrinking the Fed's $7 trillion balance sheet will be a delicate and challenging process. As we continue to monitor the situation, we'll be keeping a close eye on the Fed's decisions and their potential impact on the economy. Guest, absolutely, and it will be interesting to see how Kevin Warsh and the Fed navigate this process. Outro music, 30:00. Host, that's all for today's episode of Economic Insights. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back with another episode soon.